Yo, what's up YouTube? Connor here, better known as DCT, and today I am playing NCAA 14, the Dynasty of the Alaskan Polar Bears. This team is a team builder team that I found. The logo is already a real logo of the Alaskan ice hockey team, but it's a pretty cool team. We are like on the level of FCS. As you can see our schedule here in a second. We are playing against Cincinnati in our third game of the season. We got whooped by Washington our first game 0-47, and we shut out Wyoming 28-0 in our second game of the season. Here is our recruiting board in case anybody cares about it. If people care about it, go ahead and comment in the comment section below. If you care about recruiting, then I'll make a recruiting video for it. But we're leading on quite a few people in our recruiting board, so just a couple 3-stars, 2-star, and like 1 4-star, which I'm pretty proud of for a 1-star school. The Polar Bears have an overall of about a 67, and our defense is better than our offense. I am pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. But this series has a few team builder teams added. Here in a second, I will show you. In our conference, we are an independent team, and as you can tell, there are no other independent teams in the league. And in the Big 12, we have Blue Mountain State, which if anyone likes college football, they know what Blue Mountain State is. And they're in Division A of the Big 12. And in Division B, we have the Disney Dreams, which the Disney Dreams are a very prestigious, very good team. So to start off, we are playing against the Cincinnati Bearcats. We are 67 overall, while the Cincinnati Bearcats are about a 79 overall. And on paper, Kurt is going with Cincinnati, and that's probably best to go with Cincinnati because we are not the best team in the league. We rank 119th in offense and 73rd in defense. Cincinnati, on the other hand, is 108th in offense and 120th in defense. So to start off the game, we are not a very strong team. We have a decent quarterback and a few decent receivers, but our O-line is a little rough, and our defense is okay, to say the best. Our uniforms are pretty nice, and that's the most I can say about the team. Our stadium is actually the Idaho Vandals, I think, and they call it the Igloo, which would have been really cool if we had like a northern stadium with like snow and all that. But it's a team builder team. From what I recall, you can't make teams anymore. At least the site, from what I heard, is down. So I just found one on the team builder section, and this is the coolest team I found. I wanted a team that was that can be built on. And this is what I found. So to start out, we have Olsen as the quarterback, and he hands it off to Myers for an 8-yard rush up the middle. And not doing too bad to start off. Of course, Cincinnati's not the best team out there, but it's a good little challenge. So we go back with a hurry-up offense, and we are looking at a play-action pass here with Olsen under center. He drops back to pass, and the pass is deflected. Olsen back under center again, 3rd and 2nd. And he rushes with Myers once again and gets a 4-yard rush and the first down for the Polar Bears. Looks like they're going with a pitch to the left, and that's a fumble for the Polar Bears. And just like that, the Cincinnati Bearcats get the ball. Now Cincinnati Bearcats on the field, 1st and 10. Almost in the red zone. Can the Polar Bears hold them to a field goal? And Hayden Moore throws it away. 2nd and 10. Hayden Moore goes for the pass. Almost intercepted by Jason Howard for the Polar Bears. Here goes a 3rd and 10 attempt for the Bearcats. And Hayden Moore just throws it away. And that is 0-3, 3 and out for the Cincinnati Bearcats. The Bearcats go for a fairly decent field goal, about a 38-yard field goal, and they get it. Field goal is good. Cincinnati Bearcats are up 3-0. around the league, Clemson is beating number 24 NC State 24-21. Well, in real life, they just crushed NC State. Olsen with the option, pitches it to Garcia, and he gets a few yards on the play. 7-yard rush by Herbert Olsen. Olsen back to pass. McKnight with the catch. 11-yard reception. Polar Bears are driving. Olsen back to pass. He scrambles. And Olsen with a 5-yard rush. Herbert Olsen not looking too bad. Herbert Olsen under center. Drops back to pass. And he throws off his back foot. Incomplete. 3rd and 5. The Polar Bears go back to pass once again. Herbert Olsen rushing to the right. And he passes it quick to Tony Townsend for a 10-yard reception and another Polar Bears first down. Herbert Olsen under center. Drops back to pass. And he passes it to Hendricks. And Jeff Hendricks with a 7-yard reception and moves the ball. And it looks like we have an injured player on the field. And as you can see, that is a different quarterback on the pick screen. And what looks like our backup quarterback. And a quick stat here, our backup quarterback, his overall is, I think, a 67. I don't know. I'll pull it up here in a little bit. Everson goes from the option and rushes for 0 yards. Everson back again, hands it off to Myers for a 1-yard rush, and that brings up a 4th and 1 situation. And the Polar Bears come back with Everson under center. And the Polar Bears go with the QB sneak and don't get it. With a 1-yard rush, they do not get it and turn the ball over. And the Bearcats get another chance on the field. Hayden Moore, incomplete pass. 3rd and 9 for the Bearcats. Hayden Moore once again with an 0-5 passing on the game. Still the first quarter with 39 seconds left. The Bearcats go back to punt the ball. And as you can see on the bottom of the screen, it just popped up. Olsen is out for 1 week with broken ribs. That's shocking. Broken ribs, only a week. Not bad. McCarty on the carry, on the reception, for a few yards. And our backup quarterback makes an incomplete pass to the side. Gerald Everson is now 0-2 on the game. And that brings up 4th and 7. Just a 3-and-out for the Polar Bears. So Polar Bears back to punt the ball once again. And Gray receives it. And Gray is running. And that's a 19-yard return. Bearcats back to rush the ball. And Mike Boone with a 5-yard rush. That brings up 2nd and 5. And the Bearcats go with a hurry-up offense. Bearcats hand it off to Boone. And that's a 1-yard rush by Mike Boone. Bearcats go back with a hurry-up. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Moore drops back to pass, and he gets sacked. Sacked for 5 yards, and that will bring up a punting situation, which brings the Polar Bears back on the field with Everson back under center. Everson drops back to pass, and he launches it to Garcia for the first down. Longest play of the game for the Polar Bears. Jake Garcia with the long reception. Everson back pass, screen pass, and Brian Myers with a 5-yard, negative 5-yard reception, that is. Everson back to pass, and he looks like he's rushing. No, he goes and chunks it to the sidelines. And the Polar Bears go for 55-yard field goal attempt. They go with a full kick, and it is short by quite a few yards. Looked like it would have cleared a 50-yard, but not a 55-yard. Moore drops back to pass, and Rollins almost gets the first down. That brings up 2nd and 1 for the Bearcats. Bearcats go with a hurry-up offense with second quarter with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left. Moore drops back, and he runs the ball on the QB sneak, and Hayden Moore gets a 3-yard rush. Cincinnati going with the hurry-up offense once again. And they go back to the ground with Jaron Rollins with a 5-yard rush. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Bearcats go back to the hurry-up offense once again. Can they get the first down? Oh, Moore goes with the option and drops it back to Rollins with the long 19-yard rush by Jaron Rollins. And that brings Cincinnati very close to the red zone, threatening another score against the Polar Bears. Moore drops back to pass, and that was almost intercepted by Jermaine Baldwin. Polar Bears looking good on defense. 2nd and 10, Moore drops back to pass, and Moore gets sacked. Sacked for 5 yards. Hayden Moore not looking very good in this game. Cincinnati goes 3rd and 15. Moore drops back to pass. Wide open. Geddes. Oh, man. What a savior for the Polar Bears. What a break. And Cincinnati goes for the field goal. Makes it a 6-0 lead. A very defensive-held game. Everson drops back to pass out of the shotgun. And he launches it to Tony Townsend for a 25-yard reception, and the Polar Bears are driving once again. The Polar Bears go with a hurry-up offense. And Everson back in the shotgun, passes it to Hendricks for the 17-yard reception and another Polar Bear first down. Second quarter with 1 minute and 4 seconds left. Can the Polar Bears score for the first time in this game? Everson back in shotgun, drops back to the pass, and passes it to Tony Townsend, and it's incompleted. Tony Townsend could not bring the pass down. Everson, 2nd and 10, back in shotgun, 5 wideouts. Everson goes pass to Jake Garcia for a 12-yard reception. Everson in the shotgun. And they go with the option. Everson running. And looks like the option play was screwed up by Bobby McCarthy for a 2-yard rush. Everson under center, drops back to pass, and gets a completed pass to Robert McKnight, 13-yard reception, and another Polar Bears first down. Everson's under center, 3rd and goal. Can he get the touchdown for the Polar Bears? And he throws it, almost intercepted by Malik Clements. And so the Polar Bears go for a field goal to now make it a 3-point game. Back here in the second half, 3rd quarter, 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. The Bearcats ball. Moore drops back to pass and gets sacked for 5 yards. The 3rd sack on the game. 3rd and 7, Moore drops back to pass. Moore goes for the rush and cannot get the first down. That brings up a 4th and 2nd. 4th and 2 yards to go. The Bearcats go to punt it. McCarthy back to receive. He breaks 1 tackle. He spins again, and he makes a 25-yard return, one of the longest returns in Polar Bear history. And pulling up the injury report once again, here is Herbert Olson, 77 overall, and he indeed has broken ribs and will not return to the game. Everson back in shotgun, and they go with option once again. Can they get it this time? No, they do not, and it's a fumble. Can Garcia pick it up? And he does. That is a negative 9-yard rush for Jake Garcia. What a terrible stat to have. Everson drops back to pass. He launches it, and Jake Garcia, they both connect and get that first down back. And that is another Polar Bear first down. Everson drops back to pass in the shotgun. He passes it long to Jake Garcia, and that's a touchdown for the Polar Bears. And the Polar Bears take the lead for the first time in the game. That is a 9-6 lead. Jake Garcia with his touchdown reception. And that is the extra point. Alaska leads 10-6. Cincinnati back in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Moore hands it off to Boone, and he gets a 10-yard rush, but not good enough for the first down. Cincinnati back with a hurry-up offense. Third quarter, 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. And they run it. Oh no, it's an option. And they do not get the first down. In fact, lose a yard on the play and brings up a 3rd and 1 yard to go. Cincinnati in the shotgun, and they hand it off, and they get the first down. Mike Boone with a 3-yard rush, and that brings up a Cincinnati 1st and 10. Moore hands it off, and that brings up a negative 2-yard rush for the Bearcats. And it looks like they do not go with a hurry-up offense this time. That brings up a 2nd and 12 for the Bearcats. Moore drops back, hands it off to Mike Boone. Once again, Mike Boone with the 4-yard rush. Brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Bearcats. They go with a hurry-up offense once again. Very high-tempo team. Moore under center, drops back to pass. And Moore's getting stuffed, and he throws it away under all the pressure. Moore with some terrible stats, 1 for 9 passes. Everson under center, hands it off to Myers, and gets 4 yards on the play. Everson back under center, hands it off to Myers once again, and gets 2 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 3 for the Polar Bears. And it looks like the Polar Bears will let the clock tick off, and 4th quarter will continue our play. Alaska leads it 10-6. Everson under center, drops back to pass. Play action. Can he get the ball off? Myers with the 5-yard reception, and another Polar Bears first down. Everson under center, drops back to pass, and another play action. He launches it, and that's intercepted by Coleman, and the Bearcats get the ball once again. 2nd turnover for the Polar Bears. Moore in the shotgun, drops back to pass, gets sacked. Hayden Moore sacked for 4 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 14 for the Bearcats. Bearcats go back to the hurry-up offense. Actually, they're back in 3rd and 2nd. Can Moore get the first down? And he gets the first down with a 2-yard rush. 1st and 10. But it looks like Hayden Moore, the starting quarterback, is now injured. That brings in their backup. Cincinnati in the shotgun. Backup quarterback trail rushing, and gets a 1-yard rush on the play. Ross Trail with a 1-yard rush. 2nd and 9 for the Bearcats, going back to the hurry-up offense. Trail hands it off to Boone, and Boone gets a 3-yard rush. That brings up 3rd and 6 for the Bearcats. fourth quarter with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. And Trail goes back to pass once again, and he looks like he's rushing. Can he get the first down? No, he cannot. That brings up 4th and 2nd for the Bearcats. And it looks like the Bearcats will go for this. This should be the ball game, folks. Looks like they might just run this one right up the gut. And they do. Oh, and he gets off to the side. Oh, man. 22-yard rush. Jared Dokes. Oh, man, that brings the game a lot closer. Still, Alaska leads 10-6. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Threatening the Polar Bears. Trail goes to rush, and he gets sacked for 4 yards. The Bearcats back in the shotgun, 2nd and 14. Trail drops back, passes it to Boone. Boone gets 12 yards on the reception, and they will call a timeout. Cincinnati, 3rd and 2nd. Trail drops back to pass, passes it to the left side. Lewis with a reception, and that brings up a 6-yard reception. 1st and 10. The clock stops. Trail drops back to pass. He scrambles. He's rushing, and he gets the first down. 46 seconds left. Cincinnati in the red zone, threatening to score once again. Cincinnati with a hurry-up offense. Trail in the shotgun. Trail drops back to pass. Oh, and he scrambles, but he cannot get out of the pocket. And that's a fumble recovered by the Polar Bears. And the Polar Bears look like they got this game wrapped up. Let's look at this play one more time to make sure this is indeed a fumble. And his leg does not go down, his knee does not go down, and his elbow does not go down. It is indeed a fumble and another Polar Bears ball back. And it looks like the Polar Bears will just knee the ball and let the game go. And that is an Alaskan Polar Bears, another win on the season. That is 2 wins and 1 loss for the Polar Bears. There is the play box, or score box, pardon me. Here's the statistics on the game. Herbert Olson, 4 for 6, 35 yards. Still a better passer rating than Gerald Everson. Of course, 67 overall. Not the best, but he did bring us a win for the day. Rushing on the day, Brian Myers, 8 attempts, 21 yards, 2.6 yard average. And receiving, Jake Garcia, our best receiver, 5 receptions, 108 yards. Brian Myers, 2 receptions, 0 yards. Jeff Hendricks, not as much. And Alaska, here are the stats on the game. 212 total offense. 191 passing yards. 50% third down completion for the Polar Bears. Red zone, touchdowns and field goals, 100% scores. And so our next game of the week, we will be playing Boise State, or actually Boise. And just to look at the top 25 here, we got Alabama at number 1, Ohio State 2, Florida State 3, Southern Cal, Clemson, Penn State, Oklahoma, Washington, Wisconsin, Auburn, Florida, Kansas State, Michigan, Georgia, TCU, Miami, Notre Dame, Stanford, West Virginia, Texas, Virginia Tech, Oregon, Utah State, and the list continues. And that will be all for the video, folks. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. I am just asking for 10 likes on this video, and I will bring back week 2, or at least episode 2. This will be week 4 for the Polar Bears. And again, if you enjoy the recruiting, please let me know, and I will do a recruiting video, and I will try to get that out there. But again, if you enjoy the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you did not enjoy the video, hit the thumbs down. You know what to do. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Go Polar Bears.